Okay. All right, guys. I hope my screen is visible to everyone. We're going to take it off from here. Now, let's quickly understand, and actually a quick recap, I'd rather say, of the verb être. We start off with the present tense, which is je suis, tu es, il, elle est, nous sommes, vous êtes, and ils or elles sont. Okay? In the present tense, if I look at the verb être, some places that it's used in a lot of capacity is when we try to describe a person or a thing. It could be to describe someone or something in terms of their description, identity, nationality, profession, which is why take it back to your A1 a couple of beginning sessions. If I want to say that I'm a professor or I'm a teacher, I use the verb être. Je suis professeur, je suis médecin, je suis journaliste. So to denote your profession. When I talk about nationalité, elle est française, elle est italienne, elle est indienne. To talk about nationalities. Again, when I say nous sommes étudiants, it's not so much so as a profession, but it's part of the identity. So to say we are students, you are students, we all are students, we again use the verb être. You are my friend, tu es mon ami. This falls under your category of identity, which brings us closer to a description. Very simple. We know this, and we've done all of this. We've done as and when you guys were doing your A1 level. The second most important factor where you notice using être a lot is when you're describing emotions or physical traits. Okay, when I talk about emotions, you're tired, you're happy, you're sad, your physical traits, you're tall, you're short, you're fat, all of this put together are part of your adjectives. So if I say je suis fatigué, means I am tired. Ils sont contents. They are happy. This is an emotion. Alright? Elle est grande. She is tall. Physical trait. If I do the opposite of it, elle est petite. Again, physical trait. Vous êtes vraiment gentil. You're kind. Vous êtes gentil. Il est triste. He's sad. Il est content. Il est triste. All emotions and physical traits, which are obviously adjectives here, we use être a lot around this. Third, with location. And I know, guys, you've seen all of this, and we're just breaking it down into bifurcations so that it recalls and helps you rush your memory back to day one. When you try to showcase your location, so it's the verb être followed by a preposition. For example, je suis à la maison. I am at home. Or elle est au bureau. She is at the office. Nous sommes en vacances. We are on vacation. Tu es chez toi? You are at your place. Ils sont à l'école. They are at school. Again, if you clearly notice the structure, the verb être is being used to show the location, which is followed by a preposition. So, je suis à la, et au, sommes en, et chez, sont à le. So this is the third variation, which is to show the location. The fourth, le quatrième maintenant, the time, le temps et la date. So to show time and date expressions. If somebody asks you, quelle heure est-il? What time is it? Deep dive into it. You often say, il est 11 heures, il est 13 heures, il est 7 heures. It is. Okay? So to showcase time, to present time, to express time, you would use the verb être. Il est 8 heures. It is 8 o'clock. C'est lundi aujourd'hui. It is Monday today. Again, to show the date. Il est tard. He's late. Again, we're using être to show time and date expression. Vous êtes en avance. You're early. Tu es en retard. You are late. Again, we're using être there. C'est le 5 juin. It is the 5th of June. Also, guys, and I'm sure you guys may have seen this before, all your months and days, such as lundi, mardi, mercredi, and so on, and janvier, février, all your months and days are always starting with a small letter. They do not start with capital letters in French. Keep this in mind, especially with your TEF writing. Never started with a majuscule, which is a capital letter. It's always with a small letter. And I see this as a very common and a basic error in TEF writings. So it's here just a small tip for you all, because this would be marked incorrect. Alright, so pay a little bit of attention here and keep this tip in mind. On continue, il est midi, it is midday, which is it is noon. Again denoting time and date and duration of the day. C'est clair jusqu'à ici? Is it clear till here? We're just doing some recaps here. Le cinquième usage, fifth utility of it now, with passive voice. If I look at passive voice, guys, I know that most of you would either have done it by now in whatever level you are, or would be doing it. Either way, let me just take this on as a small explanation just for those who've not done it. Think of it in English, okay? Active voice. I am cooking the food, or the food is being cooked by me. The first part of the sentence is your active voice, you're doing it yourself. The second is where you've reversed the sentence and it's being done by an agent. So the second part is your passive tone. La porte est fermée, the door is closed. Passive voice. Le travail est fait, the work is done. Le repas est servi, the food is being served, the food is served. L'école est ouverte, the school is open. In all of these cases, I hope you can clearly see that the verb être is being used. Okay, followed by a form of past participle, a form of it. Not exactly, but a form of it, which you'll do in much more detail when you do passive voice, and we may do that in the future as well together. But as of now, you should know that in forming passive voice, être as a verb plays the most important role. Okay, the door is closed, the work is done, the food is served, the school is open. In these, être again is used. And making passive tone, être plays a very important role. It's one of the main elements there. So 5 usages that you know so far of être already. So it was just a quick recap on that. As I proceed, I'd like to also show you some special cases in which we often see mistakes as examiners, which is between the usage of c'est and il est ou elle est. Okay, now understand. C'est, ce apostrophe est, is used when you're pointing out on something. You're introducing a noun or an article, like this is a phone, these are keys. That's when I'll use the term ce, son ou c'est. Please do not confuse it at all with il est ou elle est, because il est and elle est will be used for descriptions. For example, c'est un professeur. This is a professor. So your c'est is followed by either a noun or an article or a name. Keep these 3 things in mind, okay? A noun, article, a name. Once again, noun, article, name. C'est un professeur. He's a teacher. Or this is a teacher. C'est Marie. That's Marie. This is Marie. C'est mon livre. This is my book. C'est une bonne idée. This is a good idea, or that's a good idea. C'est le moment de partir. It's time to leave. In all of these cases, your c'est, which is ça plus the verb être, is followed by a noun or an article or a name. Article, article, article. Name. Always make sure that your say has to be followed by these 3. Au contraire, if not, then in il est ou elle est, we use adjective or a profession without the article, guys. Faites attention ici, c'est sans l'article. It's without the article. Il est gentil, il est content, elle est intelligente, il est médecin. Elle est actrice. Il est très important d'écouter. In all of these cases, we're using either an adjective or a profession and no article. Pay important attention to this because again, if I look at it with the perspective of your expression orale and expression écrite from the point of view of the TEF or TCF examination, this being such a minor and a basic topic, I see so many people making mistakes in this. And believe me, somebody who's writing a B2 article making such foundation error is not taken very well. Okay, so once again, say will always be followed by a noun, article, or a name, whereas la will always be followed by an adjective or a profession. All right, keep these two distinctions in mind. Rolling forward, now that we saw present tense, let's now look at the second tense. I always show this one timeline to everyone, and let me just do that before going further. Everybody, I hope you can see my screen. You can see that I've drawn a line right on the screen in the front. In the middle, this is my timeline. Everything, guys, towards my extreme right hand side, this is my future. Something that will happen later. It's yet to come. Everything on the left hand side of my line is my past. And evidently and obviously, what's right in the center, this is my present. Which means the tense now that falls right here, close to my present but still in the past line, close to my present but still in my future line. Two important tenses. This on the future line is my future proche, near future. But something that's very close to my present but just happened, that's my passé récent. Two parallel tenses. Something that's towards the extreme right, something that will happen in the future. That's my future sampler. And something that is done, finished, over, one-time action, done, dusted, gone. That's my passé composé. Okay, so I'm going to simply put it as PC because that should just lessen the space. However, there are a lot of time tenses in the middle of this also. Right here, this, guys, is my past continuous tense, which in French we call as imparfait. My past continuous ongoing actions that was suddenly stopped, this is my imparfait. There is another tense, which is somewhere here actually. Strange, but it's here. It's before my passé composé, in fact. Don't worry, I'm going to explain that to you today if you just didn't get what it was. It's called plus-que-parfait. It's basically like your past perfect tense. Now, I know there's a lot of terms there. Don't get baffled. Don't get confused. We're going to run through all of them today. For some, it could be new. For some who've already done that, let this be a quick revision for you guys. So as you can see, there are multiple tenses in this timeline. Let's dive into a few of them so that we understand how être is used in all of these tenses. Starting with the very common and most used passé composé. We use passé composé when an action is already done in the past. It's done, it's over, it's finished, it's not continuing anymore. For example, I ate my breakfast. I'm not eating my breakfast anymore, am I? I ate my breakfast in the morning, it's done. So all your EDs in English, walked, talked, okay, all your EDs. Now in English, it's super easy for us to make past tenses. We simply add an ED in most cases, then we have list of irregulars. In French, however, making past participles, we do have some regular rules and we do have a list of irregulars as well. Être is an irregular. The past participle or the ED of être is été. Été. Now we all know that in passé composé, all the verbs in the language are divided into two categories. Either they'll come with avoir, which is the auxiliary, or it'll come with être. So the presence of avoir and être is the auxiliary. So the structure of passé composé is the subject plus our auxiliary, and this auxiliary, which is basically avoir or être, plus the past participle. All right, that's the structure of passé composé. For the verb être, my past participle is été. It is été. So, j'ai été, tu as été, elle a été, nous avons été, vous avez été, and ils ont été. Okay? Please note, guys, again I'm reiterating it because in passé composé, the combination is subject plus auxiliary plus past participle. Not all the verbs come with avoir and not all the verbs come with être. There is a standard list that comes with être, which most of us often are able to memorize by the acronym, by an acronym, Dr. and Mrs. Vandertram. All pronominals come with être, and rest all of the verbs they come with avoir. Since être does not fall in that list of either pronominals right now or not in the list of Dr. and Mrs. Vandertram, we put it with avoir. Okay, all of you guys, I know you guys are on mute right now. While you're on mute, just still repeat after me, okay? J'ai été, tu as été, elle a été, nous avons été, vous avez été, and ils ont été. All right, perfect. Let's go through a couple of examples. Can I ask anyone from all of you guys who are present here, anyone would like to read a few sentences for us? If anybody wants to, they can either show me, like they can do a show of hand, or they can just unmute themselves. Anyone? Okay, Jitin, perfect. Super. Let's hear you help us out with some passé composé sentences. Come on.
J'ai été malade hier.
Super. J'ai été malade hier, which means?
I was sick yesterday.
Super. Very good. Please continue.
Il a été professeur pendant 10 ans.
Il a été professeur pendant 10 ans. P-E-N is pon because E-N put together gives you the sound of on. So pendant 10 ans. Very good. He was a teacher, he was a professor for 10 years. Super. Continue.
Nous avons été très occupés.
Nous avons été très occupés. We'll just connect a little bit of the sound there, which is called the liaison. So, nous avons été très occupés. Very good. Continue.
Il a été absent toute la semaine.
Very good. Elle a été absente. Again, en put together on. Absente toute la semaine.
Yeah.
Semaine. Very good. She was absent all the week. That means all throughout the week she was absent. La cinquième maintenant.
Yeah. Vous avez été formidable.
Super, vous avez été formidable. You were wonderful. In all of these cases, you've used the verb être to denote those actions that have already been done in the past. Thank you so much, Jitendra. That was excellent. C'était super. Merci pour votre participation.
Yeah.
Elle était absente. Vous avez été formidable. Nous avons été très occupés. All of these sentences use passé composé, and these are all actions completed in the past. If I go forward and we look at the yellow line that I have made, which was imparfait, past continuous tense, it has multiple usage. First of all, always remember that it will have three sorts of translations, okay? One, was, were, used to. Was, were, used to. Whenever you feel this urge of saying any of these, please understand it should take you to the word, to the tense imparfait. Okay, now where is it used? All your past continuous actions, actions that were continuously happening in the past, up till they were suddenly stopped by a passé composé or a one-time action. The second, any habitual or repetitive actions that you used to do. I used to visit my grandma every summer. I used to go to school by bus. I used to study every morning. So, all your repetitive or habitual actions, which if you note, you often denote by used to. Next, when you want to do a description of the past, for example, you want to tell me how was the day yesterday. It was a beautiful day. The sun was shining. It got cloudy after that, but it was a nice day. So your description of how the day was, that's your imparfait. Okay, so all your past continuous actions that were continuing in the past, when they before they had to have been having been stuck and stopped by sudden actions, habitual or repetitive actions, and third but not the least, the last but not the least is your habitual action, description action. All of these you'll use translation with was, were, and used to. Okay, looking at what we have on the screen, so used to describe people, feelings, or things in the past. For example, he was very kind. He used to be very nice. He used to be very helpful. He was a nice man, actually. You'll use imparfait. To give a description about the background information or repeated actions, when I was young, I used to be very shy. Or when I was young, I used to visit my grandma every week. Or I used to travel by foot long distances back home. Now I don't. Here, in all of these cases, you're using was, were, and used to describe these elements, which is description of people, description of the past elements, repetitive actions. All of them are imparfait. Let's look at how we conjugated with imparfait. Now, être with the verb imparfait is conjugated with eta. Okay? The endings of forming imparfait are AIS, AIS, AIT, IONS, IEZ, AIENT. Out of these, I want you guys to please see something and observe something very, very funny actually. The pronunciation for A is the same along with A. So the only time the pronunciation in imparfait actually changes is when you do ion and ea. Very carefully notice, okay? For a moment, don't even look at these two. J'étais, tu étais, elle était, ils étaient. Do you see that the pronunciation is the same? The only time the pronunciation changes is when we do the nous and the vous form, where it becomes nous étions and vous étiez. Other than that, guys, the pronunciation for imparfait is pretty clean and easy. ion, ie, a. All done. Pretty easy, right? There's nothing tricky about imparfait, and this rule actually applies to any verb that you pick in imparfait. You pick up any verb in imparfait, take the nous form of the verb, remove the ONS, add the endings. Okay, so the steps of forming imparfait for any verb. Take the nous form. I'm putting on the chart, okay, the steps. Take the nous form minus ONS, add endings. And the endings are right there on your screen. When you do that, the pronunciations for je, tu, il, elle and ils and elles form is going to be just the same. Okay, I hope that this kind of helps you to practice it. Okay? Again, anyone who wants to volunteer to read the following sentences? Okay. While I don't know your name, you can still unmute yourselves, tell us your name, and you may read for us.
Yeah. Je m'appelle Gagandeep Kaur.
Bonjour, Gagandeep.
Bonjour.
Ok, super. Vous pouvez commencer.
Oui, d'accord. Elle était toujours en avance.
Ok, elle était toujours en avance. Just connect the sound a little bit. En avance.
En avance.
Much
En avance.
good. Elle était toujours en avance. She was always early. Very good. Please continue. Doing very well.
Nous étions amis.
Nous
Nous étions. Nous étions amis.
étions amis. We were friends. Okay. Continue.
Il était professeur en Paris.
Il était professeur à Paris. Super. He was a professor at Paris or in Paris.
Les enfants étaient contents. Les enfants.
The children were happy. Les enfants étaient contents. Very good, Gangpi. Very, very good. Excellent.
Merci beaucoup.
Super. Merci, merci.
Merci.
Elle était toujours en avance and les enfants étaient contents. Do you see the similarity between the sounds of été and été? Do you also see the similarity between all of these sentences, amongst all of these sentences with respect to the translation? Were friends, was early, used to be a teacher, were happy. Like I said, 3 translation: was, were, and used to. Okay? But there's one thing that you guys need to just keep in mind. You just saw passé composé in which we did j'ai été, tu as été. And then we also did imparfait. And I don't know if you observed that the translations for both were a little common. Don't be confused by it. They're pronounced a little bit in the same way, but they're written very differently. Été is passé composé, whereas this été is imparfait. This été comes with an auxiliary, whereas été in imparfait does not come with an auxiliary. The structures and the usages are completely different. Okay? While the pronunciation may be the same, the usages are completely different. I hope that till here we're all on the same page. C'est clair, c'est okay, vous avez tout compris. I need a thumbs up or thumbs down from everyone to know we're going well together or not. Thank you, Ria. Okay, Ria, Jasmine, super, merci. Alors, c'est rassurant, merci. Super, great. Jigar, Yasin, Amar, thank you. Lovely. Okay. Because I keep talking so much, I feel like I should just pause a little bit and ask everyone if everyone's getting it or it's going above everyone's head. Okay, cool. Good job. Let's continue from here. So we did le temps présent, we've done present, we did passé composé, we did imparfait with the usage of être. Let's now do towards the right hand side of the timeline, which is our future sampler. Our future sampler, again, let's do a quick recap in general of future sampler. Future sampler, how is it formed? We have endings here, correct? These endings are our avoir endings. Now, what are these endings? Let's put them on the chat here, everyone. We have AI, AS, A, ONS, EZ, and ONT. These are our endings. How is future sampler formed or constructed? We take the subject. Let me just put it in front of you guys here itself, so it's right in your face. We put the subject, we take the stem on the infinitive form of the verb, followed by the avoir endings. Now, we just saw what avoir endings were. I've put that on the chat for you guys. Now, why have I put an infinitive or stem? When I say infinitive, that means the full verb. For example, I take the word manger. The full verb followed by the endings would make up I will eat, you will eat, he will eat, or she will eat. So something like manger followed by AI, mangerai or mangera. But the rule for putting infinitive does not apply to everything in the future sampler. We have a list of exceptions that we use. Now, what are these exceptions? These exceptions are not for the endings. These exceptions are for the stems. So, for example, for the verb être, I don't take the verb être and add endings. No. I take the form ser or ser plus the endings. This gives me will be. Ser plus as. Sera. Again, will be. So, je serai and tu seras. I will be, you will be. Just like the verb être, there are more verbs like avoir, aller, vouloir, and a list of those which do not take up their full form or the infinitive form, but they simply take up some stems. All right. But today our focus is only and only and only on the verb être. So let's just look at it. Now again, I want you guys to observe something about the pronunciation for the verb être. I usually tell people, if you're ever facing a challenge in doing the sound of the verb être, just go by a little bit like a musical sound, okay? Re, ra, ra, rom, re, ro. Why do I do this? I know this sounds really funny and peculiar, but what happens is all of your verbs, whether you take the stem or whether you take the full verb, they'll all end with R, which means when you add R followed by the ending sound would be the same, which is re, ra, ra, ro, re, ro. So no matter what you add before it, the sound of the endings is the same. So je serai, tu seras, elle sera, nous serons, vous serez, ils seront. Everyone, I know you all are on mute, just repeat after me. Je serai, tu seras, elle sera, nous serons, vous serez, ils seront. I will be present. You will be there. He will be there. So the verb être in its future simple form. Can I please again request someone out of the team, the wonderful batch of students that we have? Okay, Rohan, that was quick. I don't have to wait much longer. Salut, Rohan, vous allez bien?
Oui, je vais bien, merci. Et vous?
Très, très bien, merci. Alors, super. Je vous écoute.
Pouvez-vous écouter moi?
Oui, oui, absolument, je vous écoute. Vous pouvez commencer à écrire, à lire.
Oui, je pense. Je serai professeur un jour.
Very good. Je serai professeur un jour. I will be a professor or a teacher one day. Now, un jour, I don't know what timeline in the future it is. Could be 10 years, could be 5 years, could be 20 years, could be 1 year. So, un jour is an is a far-fetched or an unframed time work for me. I don't know when is that one day, so it's future simple. Super, continue.
Tu seras content demain.
Right? Que tu seras content demain. You will be happy tomorrow. Super, continue.
Il sera en vacances la semaine prochaine.
Super, il sera en vacances la semaine prochaine. He will be on vacation la semaine, the week prochaine, the next week. Lovely.
Nous serons à Paris.
Nous serons à Paris. We will be in Paris. Very nice.
Elles seront prêtes à midi.
Elles seront prêtes à midi. They will be ready at noon or by noon. Very good. C'était super, excellent. Excellent fait, bien fait. Merci.
Merci.
Merci, super. Very well done, Rohan. Very well done. All of these cases, I will be, you will be, he will be, we will be, and they will be. We've used the verb être in its future simple form with the usage of the stem, which is ser, followed by the endings. On continue ici. We now have the term plus-que-parfait, which on the timeline I referred to as PQP, which is plus-que-parfait. Now, anyone on the chat, let's see. Anyone, because I know we are cohort of A1, A2, B1s, and B2s. Anybody who can tell me in brief, what is plus-que-parfait? Anyone who knows, I'm sure a batch of you, as a batch, as a cohort, some of us may know, what is plus-que-parfait? Chetan says had, very good. It means had, I mean it's used, had been, okay? Correct, big yes? Thank you, Chetan. Thank you, Shweta, for sharing that. You're very close. You're good. Perfect. Past continuous tense had been. The activity had been completed in the past. Integrity of a past action. Okay, Amma, you're very close actually. Let me explain that. Further past of imparfait. Okay, action happened before a past action. Very good. Very good. You guys are all around it. You guys know gist of it. Let me just put it together. Okay, very well done. You guys are very close. Putting all of what you guys have given me together. Let me help you understand what Plus-que-parfait is. Let's say there are two actions happening in your past. Okay, I came back home and I had gone to work. I had gone to work in the morning and I came back at 5 o'clock, let's say. Both these actions have already happened in the past, correct? I had gone to work in the morning and I came back at 5 o'clock in the evening. Both these actions happened in the past. They're done. They're over. Not continuing. But between these two actions, one action happened first in order of sequence. Which is that action 1 and which is that action 2? Please put it on the chat for me, guys. I had gone to work this morning and I came back home at 5 o'clock. Which is A1, action 1, and which is A2? Okay, Chetan, you've written gone to work. Which is that action? Chandni says action 1 is had gone to work. Okay, Chetan, action 1, okay. Gone to work is action 1. I had gone to work. Harsha says action 1. Okay, very good. Emmy had gone to work is 1. Came back is action 2. Perfect, that's right. Always remember, all your action 1s are your plus-que-parfait. So in your timeline, when you're doing two things in the past, they're done, they're over, dusted, finished. In that order of chronology, the first action, which is A1, is your plus-que-parfait. And your second action could be your passé composé or your imparfait. Understood? Now, how do we form plus-que-parfait? Plus-que-parfait is formed around the same rules of passé composé. We use the subject, yes, of course. We use the auxiliary, avoir or être, yes, and we use the past participle. But what is the difference? The difference lies in the auxiliary. The auxiliary is conjugated, whether you take avoir or être, in the imparfait form. Okay, so let's say if it's avoir, ave, 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 avion, aviez, and ave. Similarly, had this been être, we know that the imparfait form of être is été, 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 étions, étiez, été. Okay, so to make plus-que-parfait, we take the subject, we take the avoir or the être, depending on the list that we discussed, followed by the past participle, and there you go. You have your I had done, I had been. That's your plus-que-parfait, always your action number 1. So if I look at the conjugation, j'avais été, I had been. Tu avais été, you had been. Il avait été, he had been. Nous avions été, we had been. Vous aviez été, you all or you had been. Ils avaient été ou elles avaient été, they had been. These are all those actions in the past which we call as action 1. They always happen before another past action, and you use the avoir conjugation in the imparfait form followed by your être in its past participle to form plus-que-parfait of être. Same way, same drill, guys. Anyone who wants to read out a couple of sentences for us? Okay, Teresa.
Sorry, my the chat isn't, the emojis aren't working well, so that's why I put them.
I see your hand, that works best.
Okay.
That's the beauty of turning on the camera. I am observant, I can see.
Okay.
Okay, vous pouvez commencer à lire.
J'avais été, tu avais été, il avait été, nous avions été, vous aviez été, ils avaient été.
Perfect. Can you also read the sentences for me now?
J'avais été, I had been, oh, sorry, underneath. J'avais été malade avant le voyage.
I had been sick before the
Trip.
Okay, continue.
Il avait été professeur avant de devenir écrivain.
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 Good. He had been a teacher before becoming a writer.
Writer.
Okay.
Elle avait été très gentille.
Very nice. She had been very kind to us that day.
Nous avions été heureux ensemble.
Nous avions été heureux ensemble.
Heureux.
So just imagine the ash doesn't exist, so you're not pronouncing it. X we anyway don't pronounce. So heureux ensemble.
Heureux ensemble.
Very good. We had been happy together.
Vous aviez été surprise par la nouvelle.
Vous aviez été surpris par la nouvelle. We had been surprised
By the news.
news. Very good. Very well done, Teresa. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Merci.
Very nice. Super. So far, guys, I hope you all observed, and it was a recap for you guys, the usage of être in the 5 cases, along with conjugations of être in present, past, imparfait, plus-que-parfait, and future simple. If all of that is more or less clear, let's dive into a small reading. Again, anybody who would like to volunteer to read, you don't have to translate. Okay, Shania. Hey, Shania, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Great, superb. All right. We'd love to hear you. Come on.
Aujourd'hui, je suis très content parce que c'est la rentrée des classes. Mon frère était malade hier, mais maintenant il est en forme.
C'est en forme.
L'année dernière, nous étions dans une autre école. Avant de déménager, nous avions été tristes de quitter nos amis.
Very nice.
Cette fois, nous serons plus ouverts et sociables.
Lovely.
L'école a été fermée pendant 2 mois. Maintenant, tout le monde est prêt pour une nouvelle année scolaire.
Super, c'était excellent. Mais avant de terminer, can you also please help me find out all the êtres that are there in this passage, please? All of them that you can find. Come on.
So, la première phrase, there's était. Je suis, je suis.
Okay, je suis.
Était. And a again, sorry. C'est.
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 La rentrée des classes. Rentrée is a term which is used for the first day of the school. Okay?
Était.
Était. And which form is this in?
Imparfait.
Imparfait. Super. Excellent.
Et.
Mais maintenant, elle est en forme.
Nous étions.
Very good. Nous étions dans une autre école. Again, which form étions in?
L'imparfait.
Parfait. Super.
Nous avions. Non, sorry. Été. Nous avions été.
Very good. Nous avions été tristes de quitter nos amis. Which form is this?
Plus que parfait.
Lovely. Plus que parfait. We had been very sad of leaving our friends.
Nous serons. Ce seront.
Nous serons. Very good. Which form is this? Which tense is this?
Le futur simple.
Future simple. Absolutely. We will be more open. Okay?
A été.
A été. Very good. Just this?
Plus que parfait.
Let's
No, sorry. It's a passé composé.
Passé composé. The school had been closed. Okay. Okay. Maybe this. Okay. I know that looks like it. It's also, remember the 5th passive tone, passive voice? That too.
Okay.
Et maintenant, tout le monde
Et.
et prête pour une nouvelle année scolaire. Very good. Very good. Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shania. Thank
Merci.
you. Super. Okay. Excellent. Anyone who wants to try the second passage for us? Anybody who would like to try the second passage for us and help us point out? Chetan. Okay. Superb. Hey, Chetan.
Hey,
Okay. Are we ready? Should we try?
yes.
Okay. Let's go.
Samedi matin, il faisait beau et mes amis étaient déjà à la gare. Moi, j'étais encore à la maison car j'avais été malade toute la nuit. Mais
Toute la nuit, because there's no E here, so toute la nuit.
toute la nuit. Mais à 10 heures, je suis parti et une heure plus tard.
Mais je suis partie et une heure.
Et une heure
Very good.
plus tard, nous étions tous ensemble à la campagne. Campagne, c'était calme et agréable.
Very good. Agréable.
Agréable. Dimanche, il a été un peu nuageux, mais cela n'était pas grave.
Very good. Well tried. Yes.
Le week-end prochain, je serai là dès la matin.
Le week-end prochain, next weekend, je serai là dès le matin.
Prochain.
Very good. But your work is not done yet. You tell me and help me find out all the Êtres here.
Okay. Moi, j'étais.
Okay.
The next line. Oh, était. Moi, j'étais. Encore à la. J'avais été.
J'avais été. Very nice.
Mais je suis.
Je suis. Okay. We've used the verb être here as an auxiliary. Fair enough.
Nous étions.
Nous étions. Okay.
Tous hommes. C'était.
C'était. Okay.
Comme dimanche, il a été.
Very good. Very nice. Il a été.
Cela n'était.
Very good. Ça n'était pas grave. Excellent.
Je serai.
Je serai. I would be there
Je serai.
this morning. Very good. Very well done, Chetan. Thank you so much for helping us out. Track it. Thank you. Now, as you know, every time that we do some verbs like être, such as we did avoir, we did faire, we also did some expressions that are very, very common. Okay, I'm sorry. I think I missed that. But Priya, you've sent a message on the chat asking. Okay. An example with plus-que-parfait and passé composé and plus-que-parfait and imparfait. Okay. Let's say okay. J'avais déjà mangé quand il est arrivé. I had already eaten when he arrived. This is plus-que-parfait plus my passé composé. Fair? If I do plus-que-parfait and imparfait. Elle avait terminé son travail. She had finished her work. Pendant que je regardais la télé. She had finished her work while I was watching TV. In the first sentence, I've given an example with plus-que-parfait plus passé composé. Plus-que-parfait, that was action 1 because I'd already eaten before I arrived, before this person arrived. And the second one, elle avait terminé son travail. So the action of finishing the work happened first during this when this person was watching TV. That's plus-que-parfait plus the combination of passé composé and imparfait. Is that okay, Padmapriya? Okay, super.
Oh, yes, thank you.
No worries, perfect. All right. A few expressions, guys, very, very common with être. The first one being être au courant, which means to be informed, to be aware. So, for example, je suis au courant du changement d'horaire. I am aware of the schedule change. I'm aware of the time change. So, courant, je suis au courant means to be informed or to know. Être d'accord is very easy. You all have been using it. Je suis d'accord, je ne suis pas d'accord. This is to agree. Tu es d'accord avec moi? Oui ou non? Alright? Third, être dans la lune, which literally means to be in the moon, or être dans les nuages, to be in the clouds, which means to be daydreaming. Okay? Elle est toujours dans la lune en classe. She's always daydreaming in the class. So if you see the sentence, we use the term être followed by dans la lune to make the expression to be daydreaming. Elle est toujours dans la lune en classe. Je ne sais pas qu'elle va faire. I don't know what she'll do. Être de is to be from. So if I say je viens d'Inde, I come from India. Je suis de Paris et toi, I am from Paris. And you? So être is used to say to be from or to belong from a place. Fifth, être de bonne humeur ou mauvaise humeur. Bon, like you know, is a positive term which means to be in a good mood, and mauvaise is bad, so to be in a bad mood. We use the expression être de bonne humeur ou être de mauvaise humeur. So if I say aujourd'hui, il est de bonne humeur, today he is in a good mood, mais elle est de mauvaise humeur ce matin, but she's in a bad mood this morning. So être followed by de, followed by mauvaise ou bonne humeur. 6. Être en avance, to be early. The word literally suggests to be in advance, which is to be early. Okay? So nous sommes en avance pour le rendez-vous. We're early. Nous sommes en avance. We're in advance. We're early pour le rendez-vous, for the meeting. Être en colère, to be angry. Now, être en colère, I don't know if you guys can relate to this. You know how we often say that our face turns red when we're angry? It doesn't literally become red. We just get flushed with anger and that blood flow. So if we just say that we're turning red. So être en colère is to be in color, which is to be angry. So for example, Papa est en colère. Understand, you're going to connect the sounds here, okay? Est en. So Papa est en colère parce que j'ai oublié mes devoirs. Dad is very angry because I forgot my homework. Papa est en colère parce que j'ai oublié mes devoirs, because I forgot my homework. 8. Être en forme, which is to be in form, to be in shape, to be in good shape. Je suis en forme. I am in form. I'm in good shape today. Thank you. That means I'm in good shape. Si vous mangez sain, if you eat sane, if you eat healthy, vous serez en bonne forme. You would be in good shape. Être en panne. Again, very common. Être en panne means to be broken down or not working. If your car breaks down, your vehicle breaks down, your machine breaks down, that is être en panne, to be broken down. So, ma voiture est en panne. Again, connect the sound. Ma voiture est en panne devant la maison. My car is broken down in front of the house. Even if there's a breakdown of electricity, panne d'électricité, that's the breakdown of electricity. Être en route, word suggests itself to be on the route, to be on the road, en route. Ils sont en route pour l'aéroport. They are on the route or they're on the way for the airport. Être en train de means to be in the process of doing something. Okay? So nous sommes en train de préparer le dîner. We're in the middle of preparing dinner. 12th, être né. The verb né comes from your verb naître, It's the past participle for to be born. So, je suis né en 2000 à Lyon. I was born on 2000 or in 2000 in Lyon. 13th, être sûr ou être certain ou certaine. To be sure, to be certain of something. Elle est sûre et certaine de sa réponse. Pardon, des réponses. She's sure and certain of her answer. OK? Je suis sûre que vous allez tous passer l'examen. I'm sure that you're all going to pass the exam. Être en vacances. To be on vacation. Mes parents sont en vacances à la mer. My parents are on a vacation at the seaside. And 15, être débordé. Débordé is to be overwhelmed with emotions. Okay? Could be overwhelmed with work, with a news, with some new place, with some anything that you're overwhelmed or overexcited about. So je suis débordé de travail cette semaine. I am overwhelmed with work this week. So 15 expressions, the most used with the verb être. Être au courant, d'accord, dans la lune ou dans les nuages. Être de bonne humeur et mauvaise humeur. Être en avance. Être en colère. Être en forme. Être en panne, which is to be broken down or not working. Être en route. Être en train de. Être né. Être sûr. Être en vacances. And finally, the last one, être débordé. We also covered the verb être in all its tenses, such as present, passé composé, imparfait, plus-que-parfait, future simple, and the 5 most common ways that you've learned as even an A1 level student know where to use être, which is to describe someone or something with adjectives, with specific locations for the prepositions, time or date, and the passive voice. You also covered a small but very important element of using say, il and la. Alors, this is a wrap on what we had to cover today on être, the verb être. Do we have any doubts, everyone? Any doubts, any concerns? Please tell me. I know we went a little bit overboard today with time. I'm so sorry to keep you waiting, but I really want to make sure we finish this off till the end. So si vous avez des questions, vous pouvez les poser maintenant. C'est clair? Super. I hope that today you guys learned a little bit more than what you started with. We're going to share the results of word wall definitely in the next session, but I hope that you guys were able to understand just a little bit more today about the verb être, okay? And thank you so much for everyone who participated today. You guys were excellent and you made the session so much more fun for me, honestly. So thank you so very much. Merci everyone for being present today and actively participating. Thank you. Au revoir. I'll see you guys next week.